Hello, you guys, what's going on? Welcome to your March 2020 astrological forecast video. My name is Jai Gobind. This is your channel for grace. Thank you to those of you that are watching this premiere live. I'm also in the chat saying hi to you guys, so make sure to say hi. And thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. Now, whether you're watching live or the replay, please give this video a thumbs up, especially if you like it, but just to support the channel, and then also subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. So I'm really excited about this month. I'm gonna go into the details in a minute, but just know that the energy is majorly shifting, and I think we're really ready for it. So before we actually look at the charts for these 9 powerful transits that are happening in March of 2020, I want to tell you about some awesome things that are coming up. The first is I want to invite you to sign up for my newsletter. I have been sending once a week on Wednesdays a moon magic report where I talk about the sign that the moon is in, the phase that the moon is in, and what aspects it's making astrologically to the other planets. And so what this gives us is a understanding of how emotionally we will feel that week. And I have also been sending out transit reports. I sent one out for Mercury retrograde in Pisces, and I basically talk about where this transit is happening in your chart based on your sun sign and your rising sign. Look out for that as well periodically, because those emails come when the transits come. I will be writing one for Venus moving into Taurus, which is a major transit, and I will be writing another one for Saturn moving into Aquarius on March 21st, which is another huge transit that's happening. And also, you know, here on the channel, I upload pick a card readings when major transits come around. So definitely want to subscribe for those. Plus, when you actually sign up for my newsletter, you get to download my free moon astrology guide, which gives you information about what your psychic moon gifts are based on your moon sign, based on the sign that the moon was in when you were born. So that's really exciting. That guide is free. You can print it out if you want. You can have it on your phone. You can tell all your friends, like, you know, oh, what moon do you have? Well, here's your psychic gifts, and discuss that kind of information is really, really fun to have. So that's the first thing I wanted to share. The second thing is tomorrow tomorrow is the 28th. It's Friday the 28th. I'm going to be doing mini readings, and I don't do these often. So if you would like a reading from me, definitely sign up. All the links to everything I'm talking about right now are in the description of this video. So what are these mini readings going to be about? They're going to be about, you get to choose between me looking at your natal chart, and the transits that are happening right now. And if you have a specific question about right now, what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, and what the astrology guidance can give you in your life, it's kind of like doing a tarot reading, but with astrology. Or you can choose for me to just pull some, not just because they're all really equally powerful, you can choose for me to do a tarot reading, tarot and oracle card reading. So $25 is the donation, or the love donation, that I am going to be asking for from you to get on the list for these readings. But the coolest thing about it is when you sign up for a mini reading tomorrow, everybody that signs up will get put on the list for a raffle that I'm going to do. It's like a giveaway, because I'm going to start offering a new type of reading. And this type of reading is going to be an astrology reading, looking at your chart and the transits, including tarot and oracle cards that I'm going to pull. So it'll be a combination of astrology and tarot. The tarot is to help confirm the message and to ask for more clarification on the message, to bring more answers to your question. And the astrology is to get more clear details about how this is going to be affecting you in that moment, whatever question it is that you have asked. So that reading is not even available for purchase yet, but it is a value of $144. And it is a reading that will be an hour-long live reading on Zoom, and you will get the recording of it as well. And also you will get a PDF file of the notes that I take when I actually look at your chart and the transits, depending on the question you ask, because I ask for the question beforehand. So anyways, that is the reading that I'm raffling. So one of you guys that signs up for a mini reading tomorrow will win a free astrology and tarot reading from me. And we'll do that reading probably sometime within the next couple of weeks, but that will be obviously put together privately. But that's really exciting, you guys. So just an incentive for you guys to get involved. And I'm feeling really good right now. And I'm feeling like a lot of people are going through some major shifting, and people need answers, and we need to ask, our spirit guides, angels, and teachers to give us some guidance for that, and look at our astrology. So I hope that you guys sign up for a mini reading tomorrow. It will be happening Friday, the 28th at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And I will be making a little short video tomorrow to announce it as well. So also, this is the third thing, and then we're going to get into the charts. My online course, my self-study online course that I have actually up and available for purchase is my course called Woman and the Moon. This course is just $108, and it is about learning about the phases of the moon, learning about the astrology of the moon, like your own specific moon sign, learning about what it means, what each phase of the moon means, and how we can align ourselves better with these phases. It is discovering and learning about all of the 11 moon centers, which is a whole nother topic, a whole nother theory that comes from the Kundalini Yoga tradition, that women flow just like the moon through these 11 cycles, these 11 emotional cycles. And understanding your own individual cycle is key to finding emotional balance in your life. I also give you a meditation to balance the emotions and teach you how to figure out your own moon center cycle. So that course is for women who are wanting to understand themselves and understand their emotions. I think a lot of times women, when they're too emotional, they are, discouraged from expressing themselves or told that they're crazy, and it's all of that is just, it's BS. That's not what's going on. Women are so in tune and so connected that we feel everything. Some of us are way more sensitive than others, of course, but we feel everything, and we go through many, many cycles. We understand cycles very well. And those cycles are what helps, once you understand the cycles, that is what helps you become an empowered woman. And the term I use to describe this empowered woman is the moon goddess, because you literally become the goddess of the moon and the emotions. You could also say you become the Queen of Cups in the tarot. So that's really exciting, and I hope you go check that out. That's on my website, channelforgrace.guru. Okay, enough yapping. Just kidding. That was really fun stuff for me to share. But what I do want to talk about is March 2020 astrology. Oh my God, you guys, when I started looking at the dates, the major dates for March, literally it went so smoothly. It was like, there's the first important day, then the second, then the third. And it was so easy. It all just flew into each other. And when I'm doing these, when I'm preparing for these types of videos, monthly videos, I feel as I'm writing my notes and taking down the specific dates, I actually feel an energy. And what I felt for March is excitement. It is a release. It is a renewed or revived sense of being. And I honestly feel we have all been waiting for this moment. Since this year, January and pretty much all of February, we're almost done with February, have felt really heavy, have felt really intense. I know that, I talk to friends, and some of us have been feeling this heavy energy since October, since all of 2019. But the heaviness is because we have been doing so much internal work that the universe has asked us to do, especially with the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, that we are now slowly feeling the release of the pressure of that transit and putting our lives back together and getting excited about the actual future. And that's what March 2020 is going to feel like. The energy shift that is going to be like a rebirth, not in like a tower moment or the death card, but a rebirth in the sense of a renewed sense of being, a renewed sense of self, and being re-inspired and reignited passion for what we truly want in our lives. So I am like super stoked about this month, and we're just gonna hop right into the charts. And I want to thank you guys all for being here, and please make sure to hit the subscribe button and also give this video a thumbs up if you have not done that yet. And let us go to our first chart. So you will see the chart and me in the little corner over there, and I'm also going to be taking little notes on my iPad that you can see in real time. So give me a second to connect that fully. And again, thank you guys. This channel would be nothing without you. Here we are. Okay. So this is the chart for March 4th. We actually begin this month with Mercury. Remember, Mercury's retrograde, with Mercury moving into the sign of Aquarius while still retrograde. Hang on, I gotta make sure this thing works. Sometimes it doesn't let me see the option button. Oh, there it is. Come on, give it to me. There. There we go. Okay, so here it is. Mercury is going to move to retrograde into Aquarius on March 4th. The retrograde in Pisces has been teaching us how to deeply understand the healing we've been doing. It has been showing us how to reflect on the past, but in a way that gives us more understanding about ourselves. Emotional understanding, the feeling type of understanding. We are also finding our grounding, and also now is the time to shift the focus. With Mercury retrograding into Aquarius, the focus shifts towards understanding our healing as it relates to humanity as a whole. Now that we have a deeper understanding of ourselves, we are able to understand the bigger scale of healing that is taking place in the world. Energies are shifting everywhere. The ripples, because when you work on yourself, the ripple reaches, it goes out little by little. I'm feeling this in my own life very strongly, but the ripples are reaching out farther and farther, and more people are awakening to their healing path. It doesn't matter where they're at on the healing path, but they're sort of like a switch that's happening, and they're becoming a little bit more aware. It doesn't matter what they actually do with that awareness. It's just what is actually going on right now. Some people will choose to follow that intuition into their healing path, and some people will choose to reject it. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about the fact that more and more people are actually, there's thoughts coming into their minds that are intuitively wanting them to move towards that energy of healing. Now, Aquarius teaches us how to be clever and imaginative and to figure out innovative ways of doing things, especially when it comes to moving forward in our lives, literally towards the future. Aquarius is a very futuristic energy. It is the water bearer, which means that it's very intuitive and can hold space for the emotions, even though it prefers its thoughts. It prefers its thoughts it prefers expressing its thoughts rather than expressing its feelings. It like kind of trusts its thoughts or its logical way of thinking more. So we have literally moved from understanding ourselves from the seat of our emotions or the seat of our soul to understanding ourselves from the seat of our minds. And it's time to reflect intellectually now, looking to understand at an intellectual level how to move forward, like actually finding solutions. Mercury retrograde is a time of reflection, and this is a necessary step in the path of ascension, the act of reflection. So get ready to start this month with a deep intellectual reflection and see into the future of humanity. On this same day, Venus enters Aquarius. And there she is right there. Having Venus enter the sign of Aquarius on the same day is very significant because, one, Venus rules Aquarius, which means that it is in its dignified position. This is the Empress, you guys. This is the Empress. And if you know the energy of the Empress, it's the earth goddess. It's the grounding goddess. It is the Queen of Pentacles. And the Empress is literally entering our lives and bringing her nurturing, loving, caring energy into our lives. And this is the energy that we need to hold space for us to do our work. Venus in Taurus opens our eyes to also see the beauty in the world, to see the sensual, to give value to that, to feel our bodies, to feel pleasure, and to ground so that we can move forward with more grace. She has arrived on this day, and she literally takes us into her arms like a loving mother holding her child. This is Mother Earth. This is Pachamama. Whatever name you have for her, she is saying, I am always here for you. And she's helping us to remember, like, this is what we're doing this for, the ascension of the earth. This beautiful energy is going to hold us through the month of March as we transition into the astrological new year when the sun moves into Aries and we have the spring equinox. I'm going to be putting out a Venus in Taurus pick a card because this transit can also bring us a lot of guidance about love and relationships. So be on the lookout for that. I'm going to switch charts. So we're going to look at now another, a couple days later, 3 days later, which is March 7th. And sorry about all that noise. It's been such beautiful weather here in Portland that everyone's out. Like motorcycles, cars, people are out. So you're just going to hear noises. So let's talk about what happens on March 7th. Well, on this day, literally we're going to have this divine guidance. I feel this is the divine guidance that we have been looking for when it comes to relationships and the building of a new way of being in relationship. Because Uranus and Venus are going to conjunct at 3 degrees of Taurus. Uranus in Taurus is teaching us how to build a new world, how to literally bring the future that we desire into this three-dimensional reality. Venus in Taurus is like the therapist that helps you understand what true love is about, what real healthy relationships look like. These are relationships that are built on trust, on deep nurturing love, on equal ground, and on pleasure and mutual desire to focus on what really matters most. Uranus is going to open our eyes to the future of relationships, but not just any relationships. The type of relationships that will actually take us into the new world, which is the Aquarian age. If we cannot allow ourselves to move into the unknown and trust that the universe is guiding our every move, we can get stuck in the past and try to implement the same old structures that no longer work. Because Saturn and Pluto killed the old structures. So this transit is about trusting that there is another way to be in relationship, one that is healthy, non-toxic, freeing, understanding, compassionate, and not demanding things to be a certain way. The energy of the freedom, this brings freedom, and this freedom comes in letting go of the need to control and in releasing any expectations. You have to ask yourself, can you do that for yourself? Are you ready? Or are you stuck in the past wanting things to be your way? There's a really great video that I'm going to recommend right now because I just rewatched it, and it really, it's very deep in the sense of it's a Teal Swan video, but it really talks about what happens when we deal with so much abuse in our lives, and we enter relationships not having healed that trauma, and what happens when we unknowingly continue that trauma in our new relationships, and how that basically destroys our new relationships. It's called the victim control dynamic. I want you to go watch that video, because this could be, you are enacting the victim control dynamic. You could be someone that has had the victim control dynamic done to you, or you could be someone who is just wanting to know more about, what's going on in your relationships, and you're not quite understanding what's going on. But there is this thing called the victim control dynamic, and that is a very unhealthy way of expressing, trying to get your needs met, basically. So I want you guys to watch that video, because it is such a great way to describe, what happens when we're not aware of what we're doing in relationships. And that kind of dynamic is an old structure that you can't continue it. Because as people start to wake up, they wake up and they see things like this very clearly and very obviously. And you cannot be in relationship with someone who, it's like when you feel that difference of if someone's like at this level of understanding and energetic, they have done their work, they have done the healing, they have moved on, and they no longer are affected by or sort of weak to the victim control dynamic, as one example. You can no longer affect those people. And you also can't really have a real relationship, because you also have to not be doing that stuff in your life, not be participating or initiating any of that. So it's very important that you understand what has happened in your past, how you're contributing to why relationships aren't working right now in your life right now, and then how you can change to move towards the relationships that are going to actually thrive in the future. And this Uranus-Venus transit is that Uranus is the future. Venus is the relationships, and Taurus is the energy that sees beauty in the world. It's about the material world. So it's about like bringing it to form, bringing new way of being in relationship into form. So very important transit, very powerful month. Even just the two transits we've talked about so far are just like, whoa. On this same day, the sun conjuncts the sun at 18 degrees. So here we are, right there. Exact. These are exact. This is exact. I'm looking at the exact transits because these are the really powerful ones. So some of the questions that I was talking about that you need to ask yourself, for example, are you ready? Are you stuck in the past, wanting things to be your way? Are you not able to see what's really going on? Are you open to dream a new dream, to literally drop it all and pass through the portal, because this is really a portal? Because that is exactly what the sun conjunct Neptune is going to offer. An opportunity to dream a new you into being. The sun conjunct Neptune is inspired. It's also inspirational. Because when you see people inspired, you are inspired too. So when you're inspired, you better believe you're inspiring other people. And it has a gift for motivating and encouraging others. It's a creative, intuitive, visionary energy with a strong imagination. And this is exactly what Uranus and Taurus needs. It is as if the sun and Neptune are aligning with the message and giving us an opportunity to open our minds to explore unknown realms of possibilities. That's the Pisces energy. So this is, again, going to be another powerful day. Let's switch charts to the next couple of days later, which is March 9th. So what's going on March 9th? Mercury goes direct. So let's see, where's Mercury at? He's right over here, and he actually goes direct in Aquarius, not Pisces. Remember, he went back into Aquarius. Now he goes direct, and he's at 28 degrees of Aquarius. So he went backward all the way into another sign, and he's going to start coming forward again. So we excitedly move out of this Mercury retrograde by March 9th. The reflection period has ended, and we're ready to begin to use our minds and our communication skills, because that's Mercury and Aquarius, to help us move forward in our lives. And with the sun still in Pisces, deep healing is still the main theme. It is a time to take the knowledge that you've gained from that reflection period and put it to use. And guess what? That's not even the only thing that's happening on this day. On this day is also the full moon in Virgo. So it's actually not surprising, because like this is how this month goes. It's not surprising that on this same day we're literally having a full moon in Virgo. And Virgo is also Mercury and Chiron's ruling sign. And that is the energy that's going to, like, once Mercury goes direct, boom, full moon energy. It's like a propeller. This full moon is going to be trining Mars, which is over here in the Capricorn stellium with all these other guys. Jupiter, Pluto, and also it's going to be opposing Neptune. And then making Chiron is actually going to be making a T-square to the nodes. So here's Chiron, here's the two squares, and then there's the opposition between the nodes. So then you can see the T-square. So what this is we will dive deeper into the meaning. Actually, we're going to dive deeper into the meaning of the full moon astrology for this day, the full moon video. So look out for that. But for now, just know that this full moon is about letting go of the ways that we have criticized ourselves in the past. It is about recognizing when we focus on being that channel for grace, that when we focus on that, divine energy will flow through us and help us to find the divine perfection that we're actually searching for. Because divine perfection is not about being perfect. It's about realizing that everything is perfect just the way it is. And there's no need to change or to fix anything. This is acceptance, love, support, letting go of the need to control every little detail of your life. And that is, for now, that's going to suffice to know that that full moon, the full moon day, is the day that Mercury goes direct. Let's switch to March 16th. Here's March 16th. So what's happening on March 16th? Thank you guys for being here. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. So Mercury re-enters Pisces again. So Mercury had already entered Pisces, but then when it went retrograde, it went all the way back into Aquarius. So this is the day that it actually enters Pisces again. It's almost like a reset, another opportunity, like let's try again. We're going to be graced with Mercury re-entering the sign. This means that our mental strength and our creative imagination will actually get reactivated. But this time with the strength that can only be reached by doing the work that the retrograde had asked us to do. So get ready to be recharged and inspired to be creative once again with that renewed sense of being that I've been talking about. When we move to March 19th, are you guys taking notes? This is the epic day. This is major. On this day, the sun enters Aries, There it is. Sun enters Aries. This is literally the astrological new year. The other thing that happens is Uranus sextiles and trines the nodes. So that means it's related to our destiny. And those are the two major things I want to talk about. So most people don't know this, but when the sun enters Aries and we have the spring equinox, this is the astrological new year. Sorry, I was like, I didn't know what I was writing for a second. So this is a new year, you guys. This is like we get to do it all over again. If you didn't feel that good during the January New Year, let's freaking celebrate now. Because really, this is really the beginning of the year. That was not the end of the year and the beginning of a new year. That's like the fake number, you know, like that calendar is not really like this calendar. This is the real beginning. That's why spring feels the way it does. Because it's the astrological new year. We went through the entire zodiac, and here we are again, back at Aries. So there's a time of celebration. It's major, you guys, because we're beginning once again that wheel of life. Starting with the most initiatory energy of all, which is Aries, which is a cardinal fire sign that ignites that fire within us to start, to get going, to begin, and trust that the universe will literally catch you. Aries is the warrior, because he's like, he rules Mars, but he's also the fool. And we know the fool is like naive, right? But he's also the courageous one and the most trusting of all signs. And yes, it's true that Aries can get caught up in trouble because it doesn't really look beyond the initial like initiatory energy or the activation. It just wants to go. So it doesn't really look at the consequences of its actions or think about the beyond this moment because it's so excited about moving forward. But with a spring equinox and the astrological new year, you better believe that this energy is an opportunity to jump head on into life again. Like, that is so exciting to me. That's the most exciting thing to me. Well, of course, the other stuff that's happening this month too, but this is major. So get ready to be renewed and reborn and step into a whole new world. Now, Uranus will make sure, let me delete all of these. Uranus will make sure that we get this message loud and clear by making that exact sextile to the nodes at 4 degrees. That's Uranus 4 degrees, North Node 4 degrees, South Node 4 degrees. There is the trine and the sextile. And remember, trines and sextiles are positive aspects. This is a reminder of why we are here. This is a reminder of everything we have worked towards. This is a reminder that our hard work towards building a new world has a purpose. And that is the destiny of humanity, the future of our planet, the ascension of the earth. This day marks a new beginning and a rebirth into a renewed sense of being. Like, are you seriously ready for this? Because I don't think you're ready for this. I'm just kidding. But dude, it's epic. It's amazing. So let's move ahead. Let's move forward in time to March 21st. Dun, dun, dun. Now this, okay, everything I'm going to say is going to be like, this is even better. This is even better. This is even better. No, but this one is freaking legit. Saturn, where is he at? Enters Aquarius. Okay. Saturn is in a sign. How long is Saturn in a sign? I think a little over a year, something like that. Anyways, Saturn rules Capricorn. And when it's in Capricorn, it's the structure, it's the rules, it's the old world, it's the father figure that is so strict and it makes you want to do things a certain way. But that Saturn in Capricorn got pummeled by Pluto during the conjunction. And there's a reason for that, because Saturn had to be in Capricorn so that, because that literally represents tradition, structure, the old world, the rules, the one that's in charge, the father figure, and none of like the restrictor, the lord of karma, the lord of time. Like there's no way out. It's like a prison. It's like a trap, because that's what old structures are about. They're like, they imprison you. They imprison the mind. So Saturn had to be in Capricorn though, because that's exactly what Pluto needed to destroy. And now, on this day, March 21st, Saturn finally leaves the freaking sign of Capricorn and enters into Aquarius. Now, Saturn is going to retrograde back into Capricorn and then go direct and then re-enter Aquarius in December. And it will conjunct Jupiter, who will also move into 0 degrees of Aquarius. And that is literally the transit that marks the beginning of the age of Aquarius. But for now, like, this is powerful. So this is literally the most powerful transit of this month, because of the significance of what it means. So remember, again, that Saturn-Pluto conjunction, that happened on January 12th. And that was a transit that literally set off a major shift in the world. The death of the old structures and the beginning of a new world. This transition right here, Saturn entering Aquarius, is the marking point between the age of Pisces and the age of Aquarius. We're living in a time that has been prophesized for thousands of years. This transit is exciting news because Saturn will finally enter a sign where it will literally become more open-minded. Saturn is naturally very skeptical energy. It always wants to focus on tradition, on doing things right, on following the rules, on working hard to achieve its goals. He's the lord of karma and time, like I mentioned. This means that he literally rules karma and structures. He's not naturally able to see past his point of view. This is a restricted point of view. Saturn is also that father figure, the part of us that has the authority over everything. Yet when it's grace with the sign of Aquarius, he begins to open his mind to new possibilities, to new ways of seeing the world. This is the change we've been waiting for. And this is why this month is so much about moving forward. The heavy energy has literally lifted, and we're embarking on the road less traveled. And I call it the road less traveled because it's new. No one knows where we're going because we're creating it as we go. With Saturn in Aquarius, we will actually begin to understand where we are being taken or guided forward. It's like being with blinders on and then the blinders get taken off. We will have the knowledge that we need to actually restructure ourselves and humanity as a whole. Those of us that seek the answers will begin to find them in Saturn in Aquarius. This energy is like the stern and strict father who has an encounter with death, Pluto. And that encounter completely changes him. And he softens and moves closer to his heart center. And the things that mattered before don't matter as much. The rules that were so important before are not so important because he has received a renewed sense and a revived sense of being. And that is exactly how we are going to feel this month. It's going to be powerful. On this same day, Mars also, let me reconnect the iPad because somehow it turned off. But on this day, Mars will also conjunct Pluto. Sorry, I'm having to reconnect the iPad. I mean, isn't this crazy though, you guys? I'm like blown away. Literally blown away. Okay. So I can show you where it's at. So on this day, Mars, here, let's erase this part and show you right here, 24 degrees, 24 degrees. Mars and Pluto. So this transit, it can go two different ways. This is either a relentless drive to achieve what you set out to do, or a pushing so hard that you actually cause more alienation, more stress, more tension, and manipulation. So which are you going to activate? What this transit means for all of us is this. Pluto is here to kill the old structures. He is here to change the world as we knew it. When Mars joins this energy, we get a powerful force of transformation and death, because that's what transformation is, where we will want to change. Do you know, like, when you're in a relationship with someone and you're like learning all this new stuff and you're like, oh my God, this relationship can be freaking epic if we both just blah, 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 blah. And if we both like read about this stuff that I'm reading that's like blowing my mind and opening up my mind, and if we both like chose healing and like I can see the potential and I can see where it can go. And then the other person is like, I don't give a rat's about any of this. I am where I'm at, and I don't, honestly, it's like some people actually respond with like, you're crazy, I don't know what you're talking about, you're trying to break this, break us up, you're trying to blah, 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 whatever. They are not, okay, they resist everything you say because they are not ready. They're not ready for the change. And you, as the one that has, you need to realize that the reason you stepped into healing is because you wanted it. And if they don't want it, that's fine. It's the attachment that creates the toxicity. It's the need for us to like change somebody else, to make them see the world the way we see it. Why? That's a good question to ask yourself. Why are you wanting people to see the way you see the world? No, that's not how it works. They will be on their own journey and they will either get there or not. And either way, it's perfect. There's no judgment there. Oops, I'm getting a phone call. That's hilarious. Hang on, let me cancel that real quick. But they will literally get there if they're getting there and if they choose it. But if they don't choose it, then they're not going to get there. I think I need to put my phone on airplane mode and call them back when I'm done, which I'm almost done. So we are going to want to change because we're going to want it. We will want to actually join Pluto in this death and in this transformation. Or you're going to get trampled by the energy, just like Saturn did. Well, Saturn was supposed to get trampled. That was the point. But you're going to get trampled like Saturn, like the Tower card, and be forced into it. And that doesn't feel good. In the end, yeah, you're like, oh my God, that was really intense and I'm really glad I went through that, but damn. If only I had just said, okay, I give in, So you got to be the warrior who courageously faces death, because it knows that only through death of the old world can the new world be born. Right? So, let's move on to, I think this might be, let's see, we've got, 3 more. Okay, so March 24th. What do we got on March 24th? March 24th is the new moon in Aries. So where is it at? Right there. 4 degrees of Aries. The moon catches up to the sun and we have a new moon. And this new moon is going to set all of this energy in. New moons are about beginnings, setting intentions, getting ready for the next moon cycle or the next 28 days, because it goes through a 28 and a half day cycle. Specifically, a new moon in Aries is not only the start of a new moon cycle, but a time to take action. The time for dreaming is over. And now the time for action has arrived. You have a clean slate when it comes to setting your new moon wishes, because this Aries new moon is literally setting up the new year, the entire next year. So take this time seriously and ask yourself, where do I want to be in a year? That is how you should be setting your intentions for this new moon. This moon will be conjuncting Chiron and Black Moon Lilith, T-squaring the nodes. That's pretty significant. And I'm going to go into more detail about all of this astrology stuff when I do the astrology video. But for now, all you need to know that it's that you should be you should be prepared for takeoff. Okay, the 29th. Let's go to the 29th. What happens on the 29th? 29th. Jupiter. Look at this. Oh, 24 degrees, Jupiter and Pluto. Boom. The conjunct. So this conjunction is exact on April 4th, but it starts really on the 29th and it goes through April 6th. And it is a conjunction that's going to happen 3 more times this year. It's going to happen exactly in April. It's going to happen exactly in June. And it's going to happen exactly in November. So let me explain to you why this is such a significant transit and what it means for all of us. This Jupiter conjunct Pluto is about thriving on power and the opportunity for major change. I mean, like this, you can't make this stuff up, you guys. Like everything is about change and transformation. With good fortune, indicated by this aspect, because that's what Jupiter brings, the odds are that you will have many opportunities to do both. What is important is to use this forceful energy honorably to benefit not only yourself but others through willpower and determination. Faith and spirituality are major themes with this transit. It literally marks a positive period of personal transformation. Like we need more of it, but I'm kidding, but it's real. We do. We're freaking like getting bombarded. We have no choice, you guys, but it's a good choice. We do have a choice. We have a choice whether to like yes or no. But if you choose it, I don't think that this is a negative guiding towards transformation, a negative thing. Change is good. Change is beautiful. It's like the only constant that we know. So there's absolutely no doubt that 2020 is one of the most powerful years that we've seen in decades. We literally, so now we're almost at April. We literally start April with a bang. So it's like, woohoo! Like, let's go. Let's look at one more chart. And this is the chart for the 30th of April. The 30th of March. Okay. So what's happening on the 30th of March? We've got Mars entering Aquarius and conjuncting Saturn. So as Pluto and Jupiter are conjuncting, as that conjunction is like hitting us, Mars moves into Aquarius and conjuncts Saturn. So we already looked at how Saturn will finally find open-mindedness in Aquarius. And after Mars just conjuncted Pluto, he moves forward to meet up with Saturn and activate our drive for intellectual understanding, for open-mindedness, a new point of view, and a desire to help humanity too, because Aquarius is the humanitarian. This is why it is so important to have done the work. This is why we're not supposed to resist change or growth or healing, because if we have been resisting it, we will not be ready to shift gears and open up. It's no longer just about us. It becomes about all of us, about humanity. This is about full-on diving into humanitarian issues. It can be on a big scale, it can be on a mini scale. But this is helping and giving back in any way that you can. So have you been doing your inner work? That is what you should be asking yourself as we move into this powerful month of March. Let's transition back to me. That's a lot, and I kind of went through it kind of fast, but you can watch the replay. And if you came in like in the middle of it, definitely watch the whole thing. So I just want to tell you guys, like, this month is jam-packed. It's exciting. It's new. It's fresh. It's fresh. And it's going to feel like things will start accelerating because it is a new year. This is the real new year. Like, who's going to like go celebrate? Because I'm going to go celebrate on the 21st. But this is our new year. So we're closing a chapter, starting a new one, getting ready for the big, our life to begin again. Getting ready to finally live life the way that we have always wanted to or dreamt of. Remember, the time for dreaming is over, and now it's the time to take action. So this is what March is all about. Look out for all the videos that are going to be coming out in March. There's going to be a pick a card for Venus and Taurus. There's going to be one for Saturn and Aquarius. There's going to be in the newsletter, I'm going to be sending out how those two specific transits are happening and in what house that's happening in your chart based on your sun sign and rising sign. And then also, I've been posting more of my music videos, so like look out for those as well. But this is just going to be fun. Like, this month is going to be really fun. And if you want a reading, remember tomorrow night, I'm doing the mini readings for $25. And you can choose astrology and the transits, or tarot and oracle cards. And you can ask whatever question you want to ask. And when you sign up for a mini reading for tomorrow, you get entered for a chance to win an astrology and a 1 hour astrology and tarot reading for me, which is the value of $144. So one of you guys that signs up for a reading tomorrow is going to win that reading, and that's a transit reading and adding tarot and oracle cards to get clarification on the message and confirmation on the message that the astrology brings. So thank you guys. This was a really fun video. I'm really excited about March. Please share this video out with your friends. Let everyone know March is like, finally we're going to feel good again. Finally we're going to feel that energy lifting. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here in the chat. Thank you for participating. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you haven't yet joined our Facebook group, it's called Channel for Grace Soul Tribe. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Channel for Grace. And I also have a Facebook page called Jaigobend. And you can find all these links on my website, channelforgrace.guru. I do astrology readings, tarot readings, yada, 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 courses, all this stuff. Just go check it out if you're interested, if you like my energy, if you think we can vibe. I would love to work with you. Thank you so much, you guys. I will see you again tomorrow night for our mini readings. Sat Nam.